Sorry, real quick. It's Imperial versus Slain tonight. That's going to be our first
Oh,
match. Houston was
apologies.
the other night, but you know, Slain, they've been kicking around for a while. They've been hanging around in that
Yeah.
top 3 to 4 sort of bracket there. It's been a battle for them. It's been a battle, but they've definitely sort of picked it up in the last little bit. As far as Imperial, you know, last split wasn't exactly their best showing. I'm interested to see what they come out with here, as it's going to be their first game, their stream game, anyways, in this season. But without further ado, let's kick things off. I'm gonna hop on board here with Mirror. It absolutely zapped by Liquid across the map.
We do see a couple of kills coming out firstly from this side of Imperial, and of course they will be trying to again get up on the defensive side, getting starts. A double kill coming out again, but it's going to be Mirror to get dressed from the side of Liquid, getting taken away.
Yeah, 100%. And these are both fairly new rosters for both these teams here. I'm struggling to actually. I've seen K9 Drew before, but
Yeah.
other than that, I'm not really recognizing any of these names. Maybe Secret, may have seen Secret around. You know, played him in a rank play here or there. Who knows? But yeah, this should be a banger. Slain going to come out to an early lead here. Got 28 points on that P1. That is so huge for them. As you see, Liquid start the battle for these spawns. Back P2, back Heli. He's gotten through. Nobody knows. He's loose as a goose right now. He's think he knows his player's here. He's going to be able to find that first one, pick up the Jackal. Not going to be able to find anything more, but may have just bought his team an entrance. But as I say, that Secret is going to line up a couple, find 2. Cloudster going to find a 3rd. Liquid going to be able to somewhat equalize on the ski before getting picked up. And yeah, Empire is they're firmly in control of this P2.
Yeah, finally getting the grip on the entire situation for the first couple of seconds, especially we did saw the side of Slain trying to get those points, especially on the hard point. Now, as this contested remains, K2 comes in for the behind, but no, he's going to get traded off as soon as possible. Costa comes in from the left angle, from the eastern angle, and Liquid's going to go down. In the meantime, we do see the side of a lot of players from this lane trying to hold up a lot of that defensive position as soon as they can. But we do see from the side of Imperial at the same time being a little bit more aggressive and trying to get those frags as soon as possible and go on the defensive point.
Yeah, and you know what? Imperial definitely doing a great job at controlling the tempo right now. They're really taking it to Slain, managing to sneak out that 20-point lead here, but Slain not going to go quietly into the night. They are back and better than ever. Aiden not going to be able to find that one, unfortunately. Liquid also going to fall, but Mortem is going to be able to find a bit of an equalizer before getting traded out. Secret and Mirror going to combine for a couple there before getting traded. It's a big 3 dead in the feed. Make it 4, and Slain with the clean wipe.
Yeah.
Able to grab control there.
We do see the side of Imperial, like especially like taking a look at the Secret. He's getting those frags back to back. He's 1207. And last time when we were talking about him, he was at 7-kill streak coming up from that guy. So Secret from the side of Imperial is definitely doing a lot of that heavy lifting, especially being on that SMG, especially being on that heavy responsibility of getting those frags as soon as possible. But as soon as the reclaim comes in, we do see the side of Slain struggle a little bit over here. A lot of this position has been already taken care of. Liquid comes up, Secret goes down. Another one from the side of Cloudster. And we do see the difference getting bigger and bigger and bigger for the side of Imperial. Now,
yeah, the lead just can.
Yeah, please go on.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So my apologies. Imperial is actually in the lead, and Slain is the one trailing behind. Imperial doing a great job here in locking things down. You know, we briefly touched on Secret, 16-9, but only 2 seconds on Hill. And you know what? At the end of the day, just fragging out for your team isn't going to win the HP. You know, you got to soak this time. You got to be that OBJ player at some points, which is actually exactly what he's doing at this very moment. But you know, it's not too little, too late yet. But if they continue to let Imperial run away with this, it's going to get messy for them fairly quick. Ski trying to find this player up P2. Aiden gonna be able to find some shots into a player top cat. Not gonna be able to find anything though. Secret once again, another 2-piece. Somebody, I need a counter up on the screen right now. How many 2-pieces this guy's popped? K9 getting a little overzealous there with that jackal. Those shots ring true, but the aims just reign supreme at range. 95 to 130. Go ahead.
Yeah, especially looking at the side of Slain, we always see anyway when Secret is going for the double or triple frag, we always see somebody getting up ahead and getting the entire guy getting backed up from behind. So I think that's one thing comparatively missing from the other guys as well. We do see Secret, Sickliff, and especially the side of Closure. All of the three guys moving in together, being gelled up and moving together and getting those frags out soon as possible. Not sure about Mirror going 9-14, but sure, Cloudster, Sick, and Secret are doing a really good job of getting those frags in and playing on the objective point.
Yeah, it really does come down to just right now Imperial just getting out Slain a little bit, but still managing to hold on to that lead. Mirror going to be able to find one onto Mortem. Liquid able to find one of his own onto Ski. Liquid in the back going to be able to find another. Is he going to be able to play upset here? No, does not account for that player. Top Brown, Aiden in position. Is he going to be able to find anything here? Two players he has to clear out. Not going to be able to find the first. The second is free to roam. Secret going to pop another 2-piece in the background.
The 2-piece and yeah, and do just look at him. Just look at him. He's going 27 and 14. Of course, I was about to say 13, but at the same time, he just died off in the middle of the gunfight. But at this point of time, Slain are just able to get the entire group back on their side, getting that lead. But for now, Imperial, slowly and steadily, we do see especially again Liquid, Rainy, and Mortem trying to play on the same Wolfpack side that they want to move in together. They want to get those frag as soon as possible. A double coming up from the side of Aiden, but he will be quickly taken out from the side of Secret.
Yeah, and Secret just on an absolute tear does finally get shut down by Mortem. This is great awareness out of Secret, knowing the spawns, knowing exactly where players are going to come from. Mirror going to be able to find a 2-piece of his own there in the background. Cloudster, all the while, still just soaking this time, growing this lead. He didn't even touch on the fact that Slain has been able to flip the script, so to speak. Drew going to be able to try and find some shots into this player back. Hot Tub not going to be able to find the kill, though. Tags him up, makes him one shot. Big cruise missile coming in from Cloudster. Is he going to be able to find anything? Doesn't look like it as of yet. Is getting all the info for his team, though. Mirror going to be able to find one onto Drew. That's going to be a big opener. However, Mirror was looking in a mirror at Liquid there and just wasn't able to find any shots at him or even spot him. Cloudster going to be able to find one. Trades back and forth. Time in the hands of Slain for the time being. It instantly flipped towards Imperial. Mirror going to be able to find one there, clearing that point out. But Imperial, once again, back into this hard point. This is the impact that these P4 spawns have. You can just continue to cycle in until Slain bursts in the back and takes you from behind like they just did, flipping you out. Getting control. Liquid going to be able to find one. Drops down into bedroom. Is he going to be able to find anything? No. Cloudster's there for the shutdown. Cloudster going to be able to find two. Aiden going to be able to find Secret. Cloudster going to be able to find Aiden, though. 200 points has been achieved for the side of Slain to the 155 on the side of Imperial. Currently more than a 50-point lead in play here. Imperial have to be near perfect from P1 to P2.
Most of the time for the last three objective rotations, we have seen that Slain are able to retaliate, able to take the control of the entire objective, whether it's by hook or crook. But that's not exactly the same play coming out from the side of Imperial, I gotta say. As soon as they are getting flushed out from the entire recomposition coming out from the side of Slain, they are not able to get that objective back for their side. So they gotta work on that. But so to say, in terms of frag power, in terms of winning those gunfights, the scores, it's all that we can rate upon. The scores tell them all. Whether it's the side of Secret, whether it's be the side of Cloudster, whether it's be the side of Mirror. Most of the time, these guys getting back-to-back 3 or 4 frags when it's needed for most of the time, especially in getting those objective in their control. By looking at the side of Imperial, yes, they do have some time. They do have the entire opportunity to take the entire objective control and get those points racked up on their scoreboard. But they have to, just keep suppressing the side of Secret and Clouster, especially when they are able to get an opportunity to just, crush them back on and back on as soon as possible.
Yeah, and that 200 point mark has been met by Imperial. They are closing the gap on Slain here, and this is starting to look a little shaky if you're Slain. They're 7 points away from tying you. Now, closing in on this lead, Ski is going to get spotted there. 2 players going to hit this
Ooh.
top LE Zip. Ski going to get tagged up to one shot, but Secret's going to be there to protect his boy. Imperial manages to take the lead, perhaps only momentarily. However, these spawns may be a thorn in the side of Slain as Imperial now have good side spawns. K9 Drew set up in a perfect spot to play the pinch. Can't find one, though, as Cloudster is going to be good for that one. 3 players fall for the side of Imperial, and Slain, once again, going to grab this initial time.
Now,
15 seconds and closing till this game is over.
From what it looks like to be a very one-sided affair. Now, again, it's getting flipped over and over again. But again, Slain with a couple of points getting in the lead. Again, I would say for the side of Imperial, by looking at the entire couple of the plays that we saw from the past 1 minute, we did saw Imperial being on the plate. Now, as Imperial U18 has the score limit getting reached, is going to be the side of Imperial to win out this particular first hard point matchup in their side. Overall, it was the side of, apologies folks, it was the side of Slain who won this particular matchup.
Yeah, Slain really did a great job of sort of controlling the pace from about that midway point. Imperial came out hot. They came out frying. Stumbled a little bit in the midway point. Started frying towards the end again, though. Sort of locked things down from P1 to P2. But then end of P2 into P3, Slain once again in that driver's seat, shutting things down, not letting Imperial sniff the point whatsoever. And, like you said, Slain did a great job. Secret really sort of popped off, had that slaying power for Slain. It's just a matter, like I said in the beginning of the game, just because you're frying out and you're slaying doesn't mean you're going to win the game. It definitely helps, but at the end of the day, you got to play that objective. Based off the stat lines, they should have won by a whole heck of a lot more. It's going to be interesting to see how Imperial bounces back in Map 2. Speaking of Map 2, we've got Dealership coming up. Dealership S&D followed by a Hossy control, as you guys are all aware, my least favorite control map. Followed up by a red card HP, which I'm excited for. Red card gets added back into the competitive rotation. That's hype. And then closing us out in that game 5, if we get to see it, it's going to be a rewind S&D. Sorry, red card was never out of that. Red card was never out of the rotation. Rewind was out of the rotation. That's on me.
By how you just say, like, if we are able to see a fifth matchup, if you ask me on how the entire team of Slain are just able to just flush out their opponent team as soon as they get the opportunity to do so, I'm really not being hopeful that we might see a fifth matchup. Like you said, Slain, like whenever the objective rotation was there, of course, the other team Imperial were having the chance to just get onto a couple of points here and there and rack those score on the scorecard. But most of the time, it was it was the boys from this lane just to just go out, kill off all of the players, get in the hardpoint objective, rack up those score point as soon as possible, and they were in the control for the majority of times. A little bit of whiff here and there from both sides, but for the most of the time, we did saw the side of Slain in control. For the entirety of the last particular hardpoint map, we did only 2 times Imperial getting the lead by just 10 or 12 points. And that doesn't mean exactly a lot of these points coming off in the first matchup. But hey, that was only the first map. We have still a couple of maps to go where the comeback is very certainly possible if the momentum gets broken away, especially in the second matchup.
No, 100%. Search a great mode to bounce back, especially after an HP. Hossy also that control, that swing Gabe mode. If they do end up going down 2-0, it all starts with 1. The reverse sweep is possible. Win that Hossy, change the momentum, swing it into that red card HP. Red card HP may play more into the hands of Imperial versus Slain. It's a bit of a longer map, bit of a slower map, a bit more methodical. In my opinion, Skyline HP may be the worst map we have in this title. It's just super quick, not very thought provoking. You just sort of run it down and shoot your gun. Rewind takes a little bit more skill. There's spawn traps involved. There's everything is involved in Rewind. It's spawn control, being able to manipulate spawns how you want, rotating early. There's so much stuff that goes into it. So it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm interested to see dealership too. I played a little bit of it in ranked, but not enough to really have a good vibe on how it plays competitively. It's going to be interesting. Dealership, once again, a bit of a smaller map, a lot of close laneways, although there are some long angles that you can post up with that AR. If you're looking at that mini map, look at the right side of that map. It's not that not just look like an AR's paradise. Get towards that mid, you're in that the mid and the left side more in that submachine gun range. So it's going to be interesting to see what we opt to see here. Looks like it's going to be a pretty quick A hit for the side of Slain off the rip. K9 Drew posted up trying to play spoiler here. Mirror trying to find some info. Not going to be able to find anything. And Aiden going to be able to find the opener. Ski is going to be able to find the true trade onto Aiden. Big tags out of Mortem. Nothing to be found as I say that. Liquid going to be able to find one. Going to be able to find two. Leaving Secret up in a 1v3 without the bomb.
And they're looking very promising when they were trying to just probably get a more ready and intel up on the A side, but they then decided to go up onto the mid, and that's when the entire action kind of got flipped away. Now he has to get control of the bomb first. Now he finally gets the control of the bomb. Now it's still 1v2 scenario. Possibly we saw the frag power of Secret in the last particular hardpoint matchup, but still, this is SND. Things get changed up pretty quick. Other both players gonna hold up a position, and there you go. He is gonna get eliminated, and Imperial wins up the first particular round in this search and destroy matchup. As you know, the first 6 rounds to win, folks. But overall, I think that was a little bit of a problem making up the decision where you wanna take the control of the midline first, or probably push to A, but yeah, I felt like that was a little bit of a blockage in terms of the communication where they want to push into the mid, or maybe they want to just decide to stick to the A side first.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'm interested to see how Imperial take on this attack round. It looks like it may be a B hit. Definitely going to be a B hit here. Drew going to hit this quick. Ski going to fall, and Imperial have full sight control over to this B side. Cloudster going to be playing in this mid area. Able to find one, gets tagged up. Not going to be able to find the kill onto the player planting the bomb. Mirror still lurking around as well. Secret playing a bit of a longer angle. Cloudster has the cutoff, though. This player still just lurking on bomb. May have just been spotted, but the overlook from K9 Drew is going to clear Cloudster out. Secret also going to fall. Mirror going to be able to find the first. There are 2 players lurking nearby. Mirror brought down to just 40 HP. 17 seconds remaining on this bomb. It is time to go, my friend. Hop on your pony and get in there. No real time left remaining, and Imperial are going to be able to find 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, this is probably the comeback that we were talking about, and this is probably the momentum shift that we all wanted to see. Maybe because in a best of 5 matchup, it's a league, it's a grand final, you want to see these teams going all in. So definitely, Imperial are just trying their level best to just stop all of the plays coming off from the side of Slain, and they are able to after the round shift. Let's see maybe if this time around Slain can execute this particular bomb execution going against the side of Imperial on the side of the defense.
Yeah, not off to a super hot start. They do forget to grab bomb off the rip. Aiden going to find a tag with his Semtex as well, pushing them a little further back. Lots of mid pressure here from the side of Slain. However, that stun is going to hit, and Liquid is going to fall. That is the top frag. Secret going to be able to find one of his own onto Aiden, but Mortem going to be able to find the first, make it 2, finding the equalizer. Ski finally going to be able to find that trade. Secret pushing deep. Ski going to wrap over to this A point. That may have been heard from across the map. Number 6 does not look like it's still lurking over by this B point. Does not read the plant whatsoever. May have just spotted Secret, however, I don't think so. Now he definitely has. Secret, however, has definitely spotted him as well. That stun is going to connect. Now, if the intel wasn't had before, it definitely is now. Big shots out of Drew, but not going to be able to find anything there. Secret able to regen from that Semtex. 2 ARs locking it down. Bomb and Slain claw their way onto the board.
Yep. This might be that entry round that they wanted to get in pretty quick in the first round itself, but finally getting that particular round victory in the third round for this entire search and destroy. But overall, I would say again, Imperial are looking very much strong when it comes down to their attacking rounds. And sure, maybe as this time around, the swap is getting switched, the side is getting switched. Imperial can take it away from their side as well. Duke picking up the bomb, and this might be looking like a bomb hit. Yes, we do see the side of trophy systems getting deployed. A few of the grenades are being exchanged. Mirror trying to get just though slowly and steadily waiting upon. And both of the sides are waiting in for the gunfight execution as soon as possible though. But no, Aiden is gonna get taken out by the side of Cluster. Gonna be a 4v2. 3v2 now.
Yeah, Drew going to be able to find Secret. That is a big pickup. Secret currently sitting 3-3. Ski, however, in the back line, going to be able to find one. Not going to be able to find the second. Does get tagged up. But Drew, the chase is on. Does manage to spot that player. Going to be able to find that. Making this a 2v1. Definitely a winnable situation. But the pinch is there. The reads are in, and Slain managed to tie us up at 2 apiece.
Yeah. Overall, both of the teams are able to read upon a lot of these situations pretty well then. But this particular, this is just one of these rounds that was somewhere like Imperial was not really again sure of how they want to exactly execute this one, because they did look very strong in their attacking round when they were just have to go on to plant the bomb, and even not talking about planning the one, they were just able to get those frags out in their own side when they were attacking in the couple of the earlier rounds. But for now, 2 rounds for both of them. Now it's going to be a very decisive stage, as this is going to be a best of 6 folks in this particular search and destroy, as you know. Going to be an important one to decide the fate of these both teams in this particular matchup.
Yeah, and that's just not what you want to see out of the side of Imperial. 2 kills going untraded. Finally, somebody able to find one onto Mirror. Mirror not having the greatest of games. Currently sitting 2-5. Drew trying to find some info. Does manage to spot one. Going to be able to find that one onto Ski. And Mortem going to be able to find another. Putting Cloudster in a 2v1. Cloudster not going to be able to find both. Mortem going to be able to clean it up. And 3-2 is the round count.
3-2 is the round count, and we finally see one of those post-plant situation getting in play in the search and destroy matchup. For the first matchup itself, yeah, Mortem System 6-3, 950 damage. Overall, completely, I mean, both sides, one of the players are like not able to get that that kind of the gameplay that they want to really show for their team, and other 3 are able to get those kills in, get those entire T20 play getting done right. By looking at Aiden, it's going 1-5, and now from the other side of this lane, Mirror, who was one of the best player when it comes down to the entry in terms of the overall fragging power for the last hardpoint matchup, because the guy was just going insane. So probably not just able to get in the head that he needs to perform, but a straight up collateral damage coming from the side of Mirror. Liquid and Mortem both going down. The bomb is getting planted from the side of Kane and Drew. That's going to be a 3v2 now. Getting from the black, back-to-back double kill. Possibly going for the pistol. Yep. Now it's going to be a 1v2.
Yeah, that was just beautiful out of Drew there. Is he going to read this player here? Yes, he is. Big tags coming out of him. Mirror down to 50 HP. Does manage to heal up. No tags from that Semtex. 22 seconds remain on this bomb. He is going to be able to spot one. Going to find the opener, making this a 1v1. Big bomb check here. Does get spotted and tagged. Mirror going to try and run this player down. No. Not going to spot him. And Imperial, once again, find their second round in a row.
That was a close one. That was a close one. Look at Imperial trying to just go and flush out. I mean, that was a flank where both of the players from Slain could have expected that one to happen. The audio cue is definitely in, but how Imperial got that flank play and this almost a 1v2 clutch coming in from the side of Slain was something really, really very competitive coming in from the side, or come from both sides though.
Yes,
First,
and that was just perfect play from, was that Aiden that clutched up there?
that was probably K9 if I'm not wrong. Anyways, stunned, Liquid not getting a chance. Mirror getting one more. Aiden goes down. Now it's gonna be a 4v2 though. You do see the side of Slain trying to approach, trying to hit the bomb B side. Not very lucky in terms of getting those long range fights, especially for the side of Imperial though. But finally, with the close call combat, we do see the side of Kane and Drew getting that 9th kill. Mirror goes down with a headshot though. This close punch situation, there's not really something big that you can do with that SMG.
This is definitely a tough situation to be in, a 1v4 for the clutch, but with how K9's been playing, I can definitely see him being able to do it. Going to be able to find the first pre-fires, the second, finding some tags in. Question is, does he get spotted? No, he does not. The nade comes through. Hardly any time left, but can play for these kills, shut these streaks down. Ski, the only player still on a streak for the side of Slain. Ski is also going to fall. Secret going to remain alive, but K9 getting ever so closer to those streaks, going to be able to find 3 on the round.
So we did saw Imperial able to get 2 rounds back to back. Then it was Slain. They get a couple of get 2 back to back again. Sorry, and now we do see the side of Slain. We do see the side of EMP getting 1, and then just that a little bit of the football game. 1 goal for you, 1 goal for me. That's the play. We do see the RSC streak getting used from the side of Liquid. Might get 1 or 2. Not really sure though what he's trying to do. Maybe just going in for a little bit of the park. What it says is gets the side of Mirror. No trade game for now. RSC is going nowhere though. Secret holding up the spectral angle on the side of bomb A. We do see EMP just rotating again for the one last time, pushing the side of bomb side A. But though Skiko gets a double. Oh damn.
Yeah, and Aiden on a long flank here. Liquid finally getting out of that RC car. Aiden has been found out, does get tagged up. Ski going to be able to find Liquid out of spawn, and all players are going to fall for the side of Imperial, bringing us to a 4-4 tie. So far, it's just been streaks of 2. I'm interested to see if this continues and if Imperial's going to close it out in the next 2 rounds, or if we're going to see a round 11 in map 2.
I mean, if you are able to get the first 2 rounds and you're just being on that lead and that momentum play, and then Slain, they're talking about EMP especially, and then Slain just comes up to get back-to-back 3 rounds for themselves, I feel like this might be a little bit of that sweet lethal comeback coming from the Slain in the Search and Destroy. Not sure about EMP getting that comeback in terms of the overall map, but for this lane, as how Sick and Clouster have stepped up their game, it looks like can be that one play. A little bit of the gunfire is going to go pro. Mirror going to take up that rotation though. Bomb is getting planted on the side of site A. Going to be a little bit of 3v3 though. No man disadvantage advantage though. As soon as I say Clouster goes down, takes down the side of Mortem though. Kane and Drew takes a trade game up to one Mirror. Now it's a 2v2 though. Just still proning up on the side of Vent. Kane and Drew coming with a little bit of the short flank. Spots Clouster, a little bit of that fire rounds getting exchanged. It's a little bit of that tough situation. Again, going in, trying to flank and approach from the other side.
Yeah, this isn't so much a flank as it is just sort of they're adjusting their angle of attack. Somehow Secret manages to survive there, does finally get taken out. No time left for the defuse. Aiden, just run, keep your streak going, bud. Find that kill. Never mind. Cloudster kills himself, and at the same time kills Aiden with the bomb. Slain gonna take us to match point.
Slain being the first team to reach the match point in this first Search and Destroy, though. But It wasn't really the one to be on the lead from the starting of the game. It was the side of Imperial, folks. They were looking so confident. They were looking so good as soon as the round and the entire game started, though, in this search and destroy. But on how Slain has able to just retaliate and just recomposition themselves, that hey, that we were able to win up the first map and you were here to win up the second one as well. That tells a lot about themselves as a unit and as a team on how they're able to shut down the side of Imperial. Couple of grenades getting exchanged. Ooh, straight up kill from the side of Mirror. Mortar goes down. Might be a second one coming up from the side of K9. As you know, Mirror is going to come up from the stairs. He has the audio cue though, but Mirror is going to take up that repositioning, going back all the way to up the side of site A. And possibly for the side of Imperial, they have to rethink where they want to plant again.
And Ski is, I don't know what ping he's on or what, but he is zapping right now. Player is going to get spotted. That's going to be Mirror. Liquid, however, also spotted. Big Chow coming in from Mirror. Big 2 at a Liquid and K9. Going to even things up here. There is a player in their back spawn that they have to be wary of. That's going to be Cloudster. Looking for any intel on where these two may have rotated to. K9 and Liquid just playing their lives a little bit here. Gonna bust that door open. Not sure if that audio cue was heard or not. Bomb checks are going down. However, bomb has made its way over to B. Big stretch out of K9 Drew as well, going to be able to get this plant down unseen from that top window and going to continue to alert there. Does get spotted by Cloudster though. At this point, Liquid, I was about to say, I think I'm doing the same thing he is and rotating through mid. Could be catastrophic. Does get spotted. Both players there. Secret zaps him, and that is going to be game 2 going in the hands of your game 1 victor, Slain. Take a 2-0 lead in the series. 6-4 was the score in this S&D.
6-4, and boy, oh boy, it was the side of Imperial to win up the first 2 rounds, and gotta say, there was a sweet little comeback victory getting written from the side of Sting. And look at the scoreboard as well. Sikov, and especially the side of Mirror, stepping up the entire game, and overall the damage is definitely favoring up side of Slain. And when we talk about the damage, it is 1500 to 36 for the other guys from the side of Imperial. But overall, when we did saw again the same statement, man. When we did saw the side of Imperial winning up back-to-back 2 rounds, I was a little bit hopeful that yes, map 2 is something that momentum can shift, and we can see of that a little bit of that change coming up for both of the teams. But I have to say, the way how Slain are able to recomposition themselves and able to just retaliate on all of the strategies coming up from the side of Imperials, Slain are looking like the team who can maybe even shut this down in 3-0.
Yeah, no, they definitely can. They've got the manpower. They have the slaying power. It's just going to be a matter of how bad does Imperial want it. Really, at this point, these teams are, they're super close in skill level. If we're being honest, the hard point was 25-point difference, 2-round difference in the S&D. Control, I really feel like can go either way. It's sort of a mix of the 2 modes. It's just going to be a matter of if Imperial are going to be able to wake up and smell the coffee, get their butts in gear, and find this map 3 win to start the reverse sweep, or if Slain are going to be able to shut them out. Hossy control is definitely going to be interesting. It's I want to say it's AR focused, but like the SMGs do play their role, and they play it pretty well on this map. It's going to be interesting. Really, I'm watching out for these ARs to sort of pop off and these SMGs to take routes, soak some time, stop the clock, sort of slay out on the points while the ARs set up the spawn traps, especially on that those attacking spawn traps they're pretty nasty. You can put them in the blender there. So Hossy control coming up. You got anything to say, Bullet, or are we going to throw the people to a little break real quick and then come back with some gameplay?
I mean, when we talk about a reverse sweep happening or not, definitely I'm not in a favor of maybe if Imperial can pull this off. If would have been that Imperial are still here to just wanna write a little bit of that their side of that comeback story, it could have been in the map too. I mean, search and destroy is one of the best modes where you can pull off a comeback, especially coming off from a hard point. So yeah, I might feel I have a feeling, I have a little bit of stronger feeling that Slain might end up here at 3-0 map. At the 3-0 map scoreline. But I guess yeah, we'll take a small little break here at the U18 COD Week 1 groups matchup between the side of Slain and Imperial. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back coming up with the map number 3 very shortly.
Streak, my friend. You find a trying to win the gunfight. Oh no, super able to get that one, but one more to go. You win it. Oh no. There's one and two. Streak, my friend. You find a trying to win the gunfight. Oh no, super able to get that one, but one more to go. You win it. 4 streak, my friend. You find a trying to win the gunfight. Oh no, Super able to get that one, but what U18? Oh no. There's 1 and 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Moments away from our Map 3 Hacienda control. Currently, Imperials looking down the barrel of a 3-0 sweep. However, are they going to be able to reverse that barrel and get the reverse sweep, or at least push us to a Map 4? I think it's possible. They're going to have to be firing on all cylinders, though, playing as a cohesive unit, because that is what you have to do to win controls. You got to stack those points, get the spawn traps going, be able to get through spawn traps of your own. There's so much stuff that goes into winning a control, and this is going to be a banger. We are so pumped. We are here. Opening week of the U18 League. Opening matches happened a few days ago. We are day 2 or day 3 of opening week now, and there have been bangers so far. Once again, more bangers coming up. Bullet, how's your first day going? You know, give us a little breakdown here. How you feeling?
I'm feeling excited, man. I'm super pumped. I used to cast a lot of my own regions, Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War back in the day. So I'm always playing up these ranked games with some of my homies who are active on Black Ops 6. But yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still in some of my a little bit of that, learning play, because all of these teams are from different regions. They have these, some kind of a different strategies, different approach, and different overall mindset towards some of these games. But hey, when talking about Hacienda, don't call me a normie, but Hacienda is one of my favorite maps when it comes down to this particular game. So I'm a little bit being optimistic that we might see a little bit of that comeback story being written from the side of Imperial. But by looking at the overall stats, by looking at on how Slain have been able to get, that little bit of that comeback inside those rounds is just too good. I guess we are in a little bit of that hosting issue, so we just might come back to the caster screen one more time, or maybe that was one round honestly, getting played.
I think we may just have to throw it to a break here. A bit of technical difficulties going on. Maybe Secret's controllers messing up here. If you caught it there quickly off the rip, he wasn't moving off spawn, so I think we're just going to throw it to a bit of a break till we get this figured out. And we'll be back with some gameplay right after this.
Dark is gonna fight 2, 5, 3, 5, 4. And look at this L2 on another 4 streak, my friend. You find a trying to win the gunfight. Oh no, Super able to get that one, but what U18? Oh no. There's 1 and 2. Dark is gonna fight 2, 5, 3, 5, 4.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopping right into the action. Cloudster going to find an opener there. Third time is the charm, and it looks that way. Mirror going to be able to try and get things going here on this vineyard side. Not going to be able to find anything liquid. Getting into that power position, setting up this deep garage side spawn trap. Going to force these players over towards B. Mirror going to be able to find one on the specs in the background. looks like we might have a substitution here. Specs appears to have come in, currently sitting at 1-1. Drew going to be sitting at 3-0, 1-2 for Mortem, Liquid 2-0. Big kills here and a big push onto the B point. Cloudster not going to be able to find that kill. His Secret is able to get it with the pistol onto Specs, and that B point is rapidly disappearing. And just like that, it's done and dusted. A point, the last one standing. Big kill at a Liquid, gonna slow that rotation down, but Mirror is there for the trade. Instantly onto that A point. Specs gonna be able to find one. Nobody there for the trade. Cloudster gonna bust on in to this lower wine area. Going to be able to find one just outside of Wine Cube, rotating towards Rock. Liquid shuts him down. Mirror looking for the trade. Going to be able to find Liquid. Trades back and forth. Imperial with a slight life lead, and it continues to grow as they get these kills.
Imperial, though, looking very much on point with their entire gunfight, being so much on point compared to what we have seen in the past couple of rounds. We do see the side of Cluster getting one more, but Secret comes up on the board for the second one as well. And we do see the side of even the site A getting a little bit loosed out. We do see the side of Slain taking the control, though. Mirror being on the point, capturing in almost for the 50% now. Slain comes up for down, but no, it's going to be the side of Specs to go out from the hands of Mirror one more time, though. K9 Drew coming in from the back, gets one, though. Mirror goes down, quickly comes up back to the balcony area. Clouds are having the upper hand, a little bit of that upper hand control, but no. Oh, with the second one, though, K9 Drew almost got it out in the open, though. You do see the side of Fountain area, again, the bomb side. The over objective area getting in the control for the side of Slain, though. Not a lot of lives remaining for both sides. It's 11v9. Now it's 11v8, and definitely it is going in for the side of Slain.
Yeah, they just got such a good setup on A. Giving up B that early for the side of Imperial is just not the way to win. You get Secret tucked up in their top catwalk area just outside of office. Gonna be playing a little rat corner, laid down, posted up, cutting off the whole top of Imperial's map, leaving only the bottom to flow through. And then just shut down after shut down from Cloudster there. Just great play out of Slain. You know, down a couple lives, keeps their momentum, keeps their composure, and just runs it down. However, we are gonna hop on board with Secret, currently 9-4. On the flip side, though, if we want to look at who is kind of having a bit of a poopy pants performance here, take a look at Ski, currently 0-5. 4 objective picks, but 0-5. Not exactly ideal. Mirror going to be able to find one, not going to be able to find the second. Lights that player up, though, like a Christmas tree. Ski going to try and get his first one on the board here. Is going to be able to find one. And Cloudster is there for the help. Mirror going to be able to find Mortem. That is going to be a clean wipe. Liquid, the last player standing in the back line, trying to play upset, is going to be able to find Cloudster. Is he going to be able to find any more? Mirror going to be lurking in this lower secret vase maze area, whatever you want to call it, and Liquid setting up the spawn trap. Cloudster has no idea that there's a player to his right. Big stun. Cloudster's position is known. Ski, however, playing his life to a T, playing the defense game. Somehow they've managed to escape this spawn trap, but only momentarily, as K9 Drew is there for the shutdown. Going to be able to find you a second onto Secret. Ski trying to clear this point, and he has done so. Liquid going to be able to find that one. Mirror going to be able to find another. Some extracurriculars out of Mirror, which is kind of crazy because he's even. Ski going to be able to find another on the K9 Drew. Specs throwing down that trophy. 28 seconds remaining. Has to win this gunfight. Absolutely massive for the program. Point is contested. Big Semtex there. Going to find the tags. However, the clock has resumed to tick. K9 Drew going to be able to find one on the Secret. 8 point currently being captured. 2 ticks completed at B. Ski looking for the Chow. Going to be able to tag up one. Going to be able to find the second, but not find the first. Cloudster not going to be able to find him either. Big kill here. Secret going to be able to find that one from top white before getting traded out. Big tags from mirrors in this lower wine cellar, but Liquid is there for the trade. Specs on the B point, doing his best to keep his team in this. 15-14 the life count. 1 minute 18 left as that B point disappears. Cloudster kind of lost in the sauce here, not sure what to do. Time to rotate over to A, bud. As he starts to rotate, that could be a big win, but Liquid not going to be able to win that one. 4 life advantage for the side of Slain. 14-10 is the life count. This player on this rock. Heady Secret comes in to Lambo. There is a pinch on, and it's going to be a good one. Secret going to be able to find one, not going to be able to find the second, but K9 Drew falls to the native specs. Mortem going to be able to find one. Liquid is going to jump off the map, I guess.
Mistakes were made.
6-12.
6-12, though. I love how Imperial are able to get the upper hand, though. But no, as soon as I say it, I do see that lives remaining 9v5, though. A little bit of that advantage coming up from the side of Slain, but they still have to get in those, the picks right up here and this objective point, though. Secret on killing spree, back-to-back 5 kills coming in from the side of Secret, and we were talking about this guy going 0-5. A little bit of the stun, but Spix is just able to get that 8v2. Have to get in the site as soon as possible to close one that out, but I guess it's gonna be a little bit of that play coming up from the side of Slain, and there we go. It's gonna be another round victory going up for the side of Slain, and now it's going to be 2-0.
Yeah, and it's match point, it's series point. Imperial, they're doing a good job of keeping these rounds close, but they got to close some of these out. They have to win some more gunfights, be a little more rotationally sound, fundamentally sound, and play these points a little more aggressively on this defense. Don't just let them take B. Throw some lives at it. Get in the mix. Slow it down a little bit, but that is just my opinion. Real quick, want to touch on it. Threw some shade Ski's way. He was 0-5, now sitting at 14-7. Got 14 kills, 2 deaths that last round. So big tip of the hat to him. Ski going to get tagged up there. Clouds are going to be able to find the first. K9 Drew going to be able to find the second. Big tags on to Mirror. A little bit of a pre-fire. K9 Drew is going to fall to Mirror.
Nice
Liquid is there for the trade on to Mirror, though. Mortem on this rock. Heady has definitely been spotted. Shoulders getting thrown. Is going to tag Cloudster up. Does manage to escape with his life. Liquid going to get in the mix here. Spots that player out. Player with the reach out, but Liquid going to be able to find that one. K9 Drew and Mortem going to find a few of their own. And this is the spawn traps that we're talking about. Currently, no player past that 50-yard mark for the side of Slain. Life count severely in the hands of Imperial. As I say that, Secret and Ski going to find a couple of their own, cutting that life lead down.
Cutting that life lead down. I love how the choke points are getting set up from the side of EMP. And overall, Imperial just looking very much too confident compared to what we have seen in a couple of flows last round, even in the last map. Good old capture point getting captured, but no, it's going to be a little bit of that retaliation coming from the side of Slain. And there you go, Liquid comes up from the upper floor, and Cloudster goes down. We do see 22 up against the 16, and now EMP has the upper hand over here in terms of the man advantage, though. But still, as I say, maybe a caster curse whenever I say that EMP are able to perform a little bit better. I do see a lot of these bodies going down on the floor from the side of Slain against the side of EMP, though. A little bit of the slide. Nah, it's going to be the side of Secret to go down. Boy, it's going to get a little bit of that capture. Slain are able to do on the side A. A good old gunfight coming in from the side of Mortem. He takes down both of them. Cloudster and Shiv going down. And boys, it's going to be the side of Imperial. Go for that victory. And finally, not getting choked for a 3-0 map score, though. They were trying up from the first round itself, and they finally got that victory in this control game in the 3rd round.
Yeah, and K9 doing a great job here. Currently 21-16. 16 deaths is a lot to have 3 rounds in, but definitely doing his part, picking up for Specs in a sense. 10-16, not what you want to see out of the young man. 14-17 out of Mortem. A lot of big gunfights coming out of him, though. Big crucial gunfight wins. Liquid 18-14, currently on a 4 streak. And yeah, just trades kind of going back and forth here.
Overall, things stand a little bit uncertain now, as we do see Imperial getting that, putting up a full stop, I would say, in terms of overall just momentum play, what we are able to see from the side of Slain, though. And one of the best, I would say, overall gunfights being initiated and won from the side of EMP, when it would be in terms of just capturing the point or just, getting those few initial frags in. The same appears 25 to 23, though Slain. I mean, this is just like a 2 lives advantage up onto the favor of EMP, but still a very crucial one. Mirror picks on the side of K9 Drew, and look at the side of Secrets. 2017, and somebody who's able to match that is going to be K9 Drew, being 24 to 17 coming up from the side of EMP. A lot of these shots are getting exchanged upon the second floor, and of course, it's going to be Clouser to get that second, going for the third, but no, Mortsup's going to shut him down as soon as possible, though. Coming in from the back one more time toward the rock, because he knows somebody's gonna be there. He gets that one as he goes down for a drop shot, but for now he will be getting challenged from the side of Mirror. Might be a little bit of that Semtex play, but no, Clouster just gonna remain alive for the maximum duration over here and getting those kills as soon as possible and getting the most out of the positional play. He's still alive,
Yeah,
though. Oh, finally gets
Cloudster finally gonna fall. Good Lord, Secret in a great position to fill the shoes of his fallen brethren. And there are only 9 seconds remaining. A point has 2 ticks captured already. K9 Drew gonna hop on, stop this clock. Cloudster gonna fly out and try and find those headshots. 3.5 seconds remain. Clock has been stopped as they got on time. Big win at a Specs. Not gonna be able to find anything else. But Liquid there, not going to be able to find that one, and that is going to do it for series number 1, map 3. 3-1 is the score. Slain with the 3-0 sweep.
I mean, EMP were just trying their little best. They got very close to it in the last run, as they were able to win it compared to what we saw in the hard part in Search and Destroy. But they did arrive to the airport on the same time, but they did arrive a little bit late. Look at the damage numbers coming in from the side of Cloudster and Sikov, and probably players have left, so we can't really see all of the players' stats from the side of Imperial, but almost in the maximum of